All right. Hey, welcome to my Wednesday stream. I skipped last week. It was just one of those work weeks, and I had no energy to come on Twitch or do anything else. But we're back, or I'm back today, and going to be switching from PHP Stand Drupal to working on Drupal Rector as we get closer to the Drupal 10 release. That's happening in, what is it, technically like Q3 2022. So July is the main goal, but fallback is August. So some fresh deprecations rolled in on the 9.3/9.4 branch, which Gabor has opened an issue for. So I'm going to work on Rector to automate these fixes. And I realize we don't have the change records here. So I'll have to do some digging to find it. And hello, thanks for joining and hanging in. So let's see if we can fix this. I decided instead of trying to do one, two, three, four, five different branches and pull requests, I'm going to do it as one big one and see what happens. So let's go ahead and get new branch to the issue ID. Before I did the stream, I did a quick check, and thanks to Ken for merging a pull request that got head running again. Turns out that Rector source requires 8.1. So Rector is developed in like the highest PHP version ever and then compiles down when it's built into its FAR. Well, since I last worked on this, 8.1 didn't exist. It bumped the requirements, and I thought we would have some difficulties today. But luckily we don't, and thanks for merging that quick. Don't want to divert your stream quick, but I could ask you a quick question about developing PHP Stand Drupal. Yeah, fire away. It's not diverting, and also I realized the chat box isn't working on the stream. Interesting. Yeah, ask away. Let's see, is there a way to pop this out? Well, that's silly. Apparently, I lost access to the widget that puts the chat in the stream. And now I lost the chat history. There it goes. Trying to investigate some of the baseline bugs and couldn't figure out how to get PHP Storm to hint the PHP stand objects. All right. In this case, so PHP Storm added earlier this year, well, last year, late last year, because we're in a new year now, the support for PHP stand inspection. So if we look at quality tools, PHP stand, I know I had to, oh, here we go. We have it set up. So this is how I had it. So PHP stand is in a FAR. And if you use PHP Storm can index FARs and work for FARs correctly. If you have VS Code, it's not so much. But if you're doing just inspections, you should be okay. But yeah, if you're working with PHP stand and it has the FAR as an archive, you need PHP Storm because it will index the FAR. But in this case, I have it pointed to my vendored PHP stand, and then in the PHP stand inspections, oh, I didn't even have it on. I have it turned on, and then I point to the neon file and hit OK, and this will add the inline type hints. Ooh, I had it at level 1. Let's change that actually. I don't know if I'm answering the right question, but that's how I have PHP Storm run with it. And by objects, do you mean? Oh, I know. You mean the actual classes that are provided by PHP Stand itself. So it should work out of the box. So if we're in PHP Stand, and actually, why isn't the FAR indexed right here? Exclude FAR from the project. You know what you might be hitting is this is a bug that I actually had happen. 1 second. When I run, if I run Composer Update and it, oh, that showed up me making my slides for Florida Drupal Camp and copying the images. PHP Storm. So one thing I realized that PHP Storm got kind of weird with is if I run composer update in the terminal, it doesn't re-index the var. I have to quit PHP Storm and reload it. So that might be one of the bugs you're experiencing. Let's see if I can get it to reload, because I'm going to need that fixed anyways on my stream. I've had this happen several times when working on PHP Stand Drupal itself. It's like here, why is it marked excluded? Did I do that? No. All right. Let's see. Let's see while that goes. And while that indexes and we see what's going on, I'm going to let's see. I'm going to go to Drupal core and look up the change records. Oh, it did index. Okay. So see here, now it's fixed, where I can actually go into the var, and I do this all the time. Yeah. So if you're working with PHP Stand and for some reason like it's saying that the PHP Stand classes don't exist, try restarting or go to vendor, PHP Stand, and see if the var is expandable. Because if it's not, that means for some reason it didn't index the var. And this has been something happening recently. I don't know when exactly. I just noticed it on my streams. And it's still happening. I just updated to 2021.3.2 today. Okay, great. Restarting fixed it. Awesome. So it's a cache invalidation problem that's fixed on restart. Sweet. See? Solving problems. Didn't detract too much. Let's go to the change records. And we'll start with Drupal get path. Keywords. Drupal get path. Oh, Drupal get path and Drupal get file name, which is not even in here. So deprecated in favor of extension listing service. Oh, no. Hopefully this will be easy to do. So hold on. In addition, API additions for the class, CK editor plugin base. Oh, that's a whole different. Well, don't need to do that. All right, so let's get started. So Rector, deprecation, hello, madness. It's been a while with all of our files here. I wish there was like an easier way to do the name spacing, but there's not. So let's do new file. Actually, hold on. Let's do the smart thing and work on our tests. So deprecation. Let's make a new folder called, what is it? Drupal get path. Actually, new directory. Drupal get path rector. So we need to make a, well, we'll copy that configured rule. There's just so much boilerplate involved with setting up the rules. That's the one annoying part, because you have to do this like pass it config and then the configured rule. We're going to, this isn't the right service. So maybe there's a way to streamline this, but there's not from the parent rector itself. Like it'd be great if you could just pass the like config path, if you could pass it like a closure and it would automatically configure from the rule, but that's not the case. So, all right, so we need configure, the config, and then we need the fixture directory, which we can just do. Fixture, and we'll say basic.php.inc. In which case, what does this look like? Oh yeah, it's like the PHP test template, where we'll copy. That's right. We need it to be wrapped in a function, because otherwise it will try to be executed. At least that's the case with PHP Stand development, is everything that you want to test needs to be wrapped. And if you want to specify the type dynamically, you can do module type. Wait. if you want to specify the type dynamically, you can do path resolver. I see. Wait, I don't get the difference here. Module node, specify the type dynamically. Oh, I see. So you could use path resolver, get path, and specify that it's a node. Understandable. All right. So afterwards, we should have this result. And I'm ditching the comment because that doesn't actually help and just adds the amount of lines in the code. Right. So there we go. Now if we write the test, which is this simple. So it's actually Drupal get path rector test. Get path test. Let's add it. All right. So we've got our test here. Got our configuration. Again, it's just like so boilerplate that I wish we could find a way to streamline it. Like yield files from directory and, somehow have it take the find the current classes directory. So we just have to find the configured rule. Yeah, there's lots of it I wish we could streamline, but unfortunately it's the same way inside Rector itself. Oh, the tests are removed, so oh well. I don't want to spend too much time on that. So let's go ahead and run this, and when we run it, it should fail because expected and actual, right? We expect this, nothing changed, because guess what? We don't even have the file to run. So let's go ahead and create that. So it's the new file Drupal get path rector.php, add it, and Drupal L rector abstract rector. So we do final class Drupal get path extends abstract rector. I wonder if there's actually Drupal set message. Well, this is way more complex. Never mind. Drupal real path function to service. Oh, here we go. So function to service replaces it with the Drupal call. So let's expand that class. Get the rule definition. So one problem with running PHP stand in PHP Storm is it will crash when your code has errors. All right, so we've got this here, get rule definition. Let's do a copy and paste. Deprecated function name is Drupal get path. Service name is snapping. We can't quite use this. Let's, okay, this is a good example to base off of, but let's not actually use it. And the reason why is we have dynamic service names that need to be used based off the parameter. So we're going to wing it ourselves. So we need to copy over some of the boilerplate. Let's copy over the use statement. All right, there we go. And we'll copy this refactor to down here. All right, so if this node name, so if this get name, node name. Let's do I to do not equal to Drupal get path, return null, and clean this up so we know that this will only run on func call. So we can say node assert node instance of node expression func call. All right. So we can remove this out of the if statement, and this creates a service call like that to use dependency injection. That's a nice idea, but I think that's way too hard. So new static call to the name service. So to this, why is this getting angry at me? All right. So service name. That's where we need to figure out the service name. So let's do an early return null. I'm gonna drop a breakpoint there. Actually, let's fix this. So Drupal get path fixes deprecated calls here. What does this want to say? Oh, space code sample. Let's go to our fixture. And copy these examples into the definition. All right, so that's what we're planning to work with, and our configured rule. This is where we can now set the Drupal get path rector. That's not what get path rector class simplify. All right. So we've got the rule definition. We say it calls on a function call. We don't need these anymore. Opening brace. So now what we need to do, so node get name, we need to do args equal node get args. If count args is, I don't even know what the method signature is for get file name. So let's go look at that. Come on, that issue's probably got a lot of patches, so it's going to take forever to load. All right, skip that. So if whatever, well, usually I like do a count, and if it's not an invalid count, it's an invalid signature, so we throw an error, but just skip it for now. People get past, so we'll say extension type equals args 0. Otherwise it's an empty string, and extension name equals args 1 0 0. There is some way to leave a comment. Use that. We'll get to that. All right, so we got the extension type and the extension name. And with that, we can say service name equals extension type. Use if not in array. The needle is the extension type, and we have module theme profile And let's see, we need git. I need the Drupal code base open so I can review what the valid extensions, because we have it's module, theme, and profile, but technically theme engines are an extension as well, even though nobody provides an alternative one. No, libraries, services. So we've got, what is it called? Extension list. Fun fact, with Drupal core or Drupal, how we use YAML files, turns out we only support YML if somebody's coming from like Ansible or Kubernetes realm and is used to YAML. It breaks completely. We have no support for the longer file name extension. As I had to help somebody debug that where their install profile is missing because they had foo.yaml or info.yaml. I thought that was interesting. All right, so we've got module, profile, theme, and theme engine. So let's do that. And traits, we've got traits up here somewhere. Utility, add comment traits. So let's use add comment trait, which has a function of get closest statement node, protected, add Drupal Rector comment. So let's do this, add Drupal Rector comment on the node. Oh, is it something about old file systems and that's why? Wait. To do, here we go. Unsupported extension. Extension type encountered. Let's see. Place the quotes. I will just leave that there. And what we can do is we can have the service name is then else here. And I wonder if this is overkill, but let's just try it out. I think this will work just fine. So if the type is unknown, we can do this. We could use the path resolver. So if, let's do if in array. Bring this up. We can bring this down. Extension type, the extension name. I think that's fine to do there. We can have the so method name, new identifier, new method call. All right, we can do this. Node args. So let's see. So service equals static call to Drupal name service, and it's to the service name. You have method name. The name equals, in this case, it's get path. In this case, it's also get path. So we can do that where we do method name equals new node identifier, get path. But the arguments are different. Say args equals args is a list of variat is arguments or placeholders. So we'll say args is just extension name. Whereas here, args, let's call it method args. Have fun in your meeting, and thanks for the well wishes on the stream. So we'll do this. So method args, method name. So we can then do return new node expression method call on service method name with method args. We can delete all of this code here. Why is this getting a, oh, because I got uppercase true. There we go. All right, so let's run the test. That failed. Oh, that might not work either, and we'll probably fail PHP stand. String cannot be converted to string. Unsupported extension type encountered. Using extension path resolver instead of extension.list. Blah, 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 blah. Complain about the line being too long. Now let's run it. To do well then. Oh shoot. Let's just do this. If args, if count args greater than is not equal to 2, this add rector comment node invalid call to Drupal get path cannot process. Return node. I think that's how this works. I honestly don't remember now because it's been a while since I contributed to this. Entity load base. This add comment to node, return new node. So I think we can return null here. Let's try, we can try that out in the test. So let's do basic, say invalid call. So we'll copy invalid call. And let's do unknown extension type. Say library. Somebody decided to call library. All right, let's run the test again. Data set 1. All right, that's what we wanted to see for the invalid call. Invalid call to Drupal get path, cannot process. That's exactly what we want. This here as well is what we want for the. All right. So one of the nice parts is if I don't know the exact output, I can just copy it from the test. All right, so let's run this again. One failing test left, and that's because it needs. I need to fix the extension type. All right, so extension type, we can now remove these what operators because we know that we're going to get values. Sure. Let's do. Sure, we'll do that. And extension type, get value. If extension, if instance of so we need to resolve the value, and I know how to do this with PHP stand, but I have no idea how to do it in Rector right now for inspecting the value passed in. And I don't know where Rector keeps all of its documentation. Let's see. Method call. Let's look at here. Change parameters to what's injected here. Array type analyzer, fluent chain. Refactor should skip method call. Method arguments. This array type analyzer is array type. Get new array. Builds the args. Array type analyzer. Node name resolver. Node type resolver. I think that's it. We need that node type resolver. Node type. Let's see what we did. Well, that's not helping. Get mock base. Oh, because it's in the attribute key. Crap. So it's only here. Type resolver. What does this do? Is object types, object type, get type returns the type of the value. Identifier resolves, get the type, this mixed type, this get type, node var, nullable type, ternary, keeps going. This is not find usages. I think if this is like PHP stand, this is what I need. Method call. Because let's see, Laravel. Let's see. Caller type is super of no. Oh, how do I resolve the values? So type, expression type, type with class name, simple static type. So if we're in PHP stand, and I look at string, type, describe, accepts to number to string, try remove. There's some way to resolve the value and it is escaping me right now. Man. Because if it's a dynamic value, there is a way to detect this. Drupal set message rector. Okay, we need to. Else we don't know the type. Jeez. There has to be a way to retrieve the value, but I don't. No name. Okay, we've got all these in here. Let's see. Time to do some debugging is what I'm gonna do. So let's take test equals this node type resolver get type value. So let's start there. I'm gonna run and debug. Second. I don't have Xdebug on my PHP 8.1. Wait. What? Brew link. Oh, here we go. Let's try this out. Let's brew unlink and relink PHP. Why is it under brew install PHP at 8.1? Let's see if I can just quick fix this by reinstalling PHP 8.1. Fingers crossed on that. It's already installed. So brew unlink PHP. Yeah, why is it set at .reinstall? But in the meantime, so test, get type. We're going to do it the old school way. Throw new runtime exception. I probably can't run PHP code while this is happening because PHP doesn't exist. So hopefully this finishes up real quick. I didn't think about that. The good news is that I can at least start copying and pasting a few things, or getting ready to, for the get file name. So I'm going to do that for the test cases. So get path rector. I'm going to do a pure copy paste to get. Oh, hey, that loaded when I didn't want it to. There's a Drupal get file name. So file name. Copy that. Add everything in. It's still going. So we have Drupal get file name rector. I need to rename this file to Drupal get file name rector test, which renamed the class, and we can rename this here. It doesn't exist yet, but that is fine. Right, it's Drupal get file name. Drupal get file name. fixture. Let's do the basic. All right. Wish it was easier to copy and paste this from the change record. All right. So that there. So luckily, this will be really easy to replace. And honestly, I wonder if it could have been the same rector rule, but don't need to worry about that. So if you want to specify type dynamically, so let's look at the invalid call to Drupal get file name. Sure, we're going to say it's like that. An unknown extension type is the same with Drupal get file name. Using extension.path resolver instead of extension list. Which really is just get path name. Perfect. Okay, so what's it downloading right now? JDK. Like, why is it updating Clojure and OpenJDK and Watchman just to install PHP? I hate you upgrading 17 dependents. Modern development is a nightmare. I guess the good news is that I should have PHP back. Yep. All right. I got PHP back. That's all that matters. So let's finish this, and I can copy paste it for the Drupal get file name. Xdebug didn't run. Validate. Whoa, that's huge. That's right. I need to do Peckle, install Xdebug. All right, so once Xdebug's installed, which should be pretty quick, then I can go through debugging this test. Yeah, like why is it now it's installing, like why is it updating Python? Probably would be easier if I just went to Linux. Disable this behavior with homebrew, no installed dependence check. Brew cleanup PHP. Like, why is it? Maybe, oh, I wonder if it's because these things had shared dependencies. So it updated things that have shared dependencies on PHP. Then that makes sense, and I'll stop complaining. Because that would be relevant if those other items had the dependencies updated underneath them. So just gotta wait for Xdebug to finish building, which is usually fairly quick. But I'm also not streaming whenever I've had to do that. All right, so we got the test. Let's do it the old school way. Throw new runtime exception, get class test. Now we run the test. Oh, there we go. Go figure. That ended up worse than trying to debug it. All right. Let's kind of keep that to the side so I can see what it's doing. All right, so we have extension type. We're getting the test value is constant string type. Awesome, great. So it is returning PHP stand types. Sweet. If test instance extension type. I don't like that. Extension type. Blah, blah, blah. Man. So we have the extension name and we have the extension type. But then we also have the representative type. Now we have extension type, and that's really gross. And I don't know of a good name to do it. So all I want to do is, oh, why is it not a merge request? Drupal get path. We're going to look at function type name. Extension type. Extension type factory. Yes. We'll do, I'm just going to rename it to extension type. Oh, whatever. So if extension type not instance of constant string type or here, no, what we'll do I don't know what else could be returned actually. It could be mixed type, union type is ternary. So we'll say extension type equals extension get value else. It just thinks that adding a comment will this provide parameter. Oh, we want to add comments no matter what. If is null statement node, this get closest statement node. I guess this is fine. We'll do this here. Let's do extension arg type arg type. I hate no value type. Let's do that. Extension type, value type. That's the best thing I can do. Naming things is stupid hard. Could not shown reinstalling 3 dependents with broken linkage from sort. Don't play with me, brew. So let's do this here. Let's run it. I bet the test will, not bet, I hope they'll pass. I always get nervous when it takes a while, but maybe that's because it's running right, and that it is. So I guess we'll just have to do it that way. It's not too horrible. So let's copy this for the, well, actually, so we got get file name and get path. Run. Maybe I'll make this as 1 PR for this change record. Maybe that makes sense. To serve a PR per change record. All right, that passed. I'll go to file name test, which has Drupal get file name rector. So Drupal get path. I'll do get file name rector. Add it. Drupal get file name. And let's copy away. Oh, 1 second. Drupal file name get rector. Get file name rector. I again lost my copy paste. Fixes deprecated get file name calls. Let's copy in the samples again. Get path name. I always thought it's kind of weird that like you needed to find the module theme or profile when names are unique. Like given like the extension list should be like, I've got node. And then it should be able to figure out if it's a module theme or profile because you can't have the same name across extension types. We'll get file name, invalid call. So now this feels like it should be like extension list rector. Like there should be something that just handles calls to like shared code to extension list. Because the only difference is get path or get path name. So let's do Drupal get file name rector, run it. And let's do get branch m. Oh, test failed. Let's do, okay, so we got issue, blah, cr. Let's try that. So we're tackling that main issue, but we're going to be focusing on that change record. This errored. Shoot. Wait. Oh, it's a different service. In. Uh-oh. That's a bug. File name. Wait. Hold on. Wait a second. Drupal get path rector. Let's run this. Fixture basic. Get path. Yep. Get path. Invalid call. Did nothing. Path resolver. Get path. Unknown extension type. Should be get path resolver. Get path name. Library node. That's why. Drupal get file name. Library. So get path rector passed. Get file name rector. So now this should pass. And I guess in base we'll do a all right, so that's passing. So get status. Let's do get add source, get add test, get commit. Vectors 4. Drupal get path and Drupal get file name provides rector rules to address the change record get push u origin issue complicated branch name get pr create. So let's create the pull request. So let's move that to line 4. I'm proud of myself for remembering that Vim. Provide issue link. Part of this issue, but targets this change records scope. Submit. All right. So this is the first draft. I want to just make sure it passes the CI. The next step is to make a base for that. So what do we got here? Get path, get file name. These have a lot of the same duplicated code. So let's do extension list. I was just saying it's extension path. So get path name. I don't know. Declaring source traced by class helper, Drupal 9, class writer. Drupal service rename. No. This needs shared code, but I guess, or it could be combined as one, but we don't want it to be combined as one. Actually, I just thought of things that need to be done. Add examples to functional tests. So we also have some functional tests that ensure that things are basically configured, which I forgot to do here. So what is this target? 9.3. So let's do import. Okay. So let's do, services 9.3. So we want to do services. Set Drupal get path rector class and the Drupal get file name rector. And we'll say we'll link to the change record there. But now for deduping a bunch of this code. Extension, it's extension path, I guess. Is right. Yeah, it's get path or get path name. Get file name, path. We'll just do this. Extension path base. Abstract class, extension path base, extends rector, or abstract rector. Comment. Let's do how do I do this in legacy base? Process args. I see. I had it do leave some things empty. Extension list or extension path. So let's copy this out. For the node, use. Okay, so that imported. So we need to do name. So let's do a abstract protected function. Get function name. Can't do return types, or maybe we can, but I know we're targeting like a really absurd low language level with Rector, so I'm not going to bump that. So let's do this. Get function name. So let's have this extends, extension path base. Get function name. Turn Drupal get path. And I don't like using properties, but I guess that's fine. What is it? Function to service base. So deprecated function name. Sure, why not? Deprecated function name. Let's do function name, method name. Let's do name. I don't like that, but whatever. This method name, oh, it's not equal to function name, method name. Function name equals Drupal get path. And the method name equals get path. And we can delete, we should then be able to delete this refactor method. And file name extends, extension path base. It's that here. This is get file name and get path name, which actually need to fix. Drupal get path. We don't need this node types. Role definition. That's there. Okay, so that's good. We don't need that trait because it's already been declared. So that cleans it up. I guess that's a good cleanup. I'm happy with that. Now the big question is, did this fail? Did not. Clean up all this here. We must not be running PHP CS in CI. All right, now let's run the test again and see if that passes. Oh, that broke. Wait, get file name. I see. Invalid call to replace the quotes. This function name. So let's rerun it. So that's where I like to write my code and test. I like to write my test first, then write the code and then refactor, because your test will find your bugs for you, like in this case. So let's do get status, get add config, get add source. Let's do get amend. I'm going to try to make this a single commit. And the next step is to basic and basic. Let's go to the fixtures, D9 Rector. Let's go ahead and do it in Rector examples.module PHP function extension paths. In this case, we should be able to just copy all of these over and copy this into updated with the updated examples. So then we can copy. So the functional can't be run locally. Well, I guess you can, but it's a really big pain. So that's where the CI comes in handy. So get add fixtures, get amend, get push, force. All right. Force you to think about how you're going to use and test the code as well. Cleaner code in the end. Yes, I agree. That's why I love test-driven development. Write your test first, solve the test, refactor once you know what you're doing, and you have cleaner architecture. Hands down. So, yeah. Oh, also, I always recommend, even if you're developing for yourself, use pull requests for yourself instead of just committing, because it gives you a chance to read the code outside of your IDE, and just verify the diffs outside of your local, and leave notes for yourself in case you got to run. Because, like, oh, shoot, I forgot something. You can just put a comment here instead of commenting it on a piece of paper or your local code base. Um, Man, I'm really upset that I lost my chat widget and I don't know what I did wrong. I will have to investigate that. This is the worst part about streaming is it's like it's live debugging, right? Like, oh, hey, I'm going to embed something and I have no idea if it works until I get on a stream and find out it's broken. Um, so this function name checks the extension list. I guess this could be set somewhere else, but like why over engineer it? This is viewed. So yeah, so we have get file name, fixes deprecated get file name calls, file name, get path name. Just sounds weird from file name to path name, um, because file name would be the extension name in my opinion, but maybe that's just a D7ism carried over to what path name versus get path. What I'm not even gonna figure out the difference. Covers refactor. See, there's just so much boilerplate just for the testing of it, but that looks good to me. One failed, PHP stand, should have known. Oh, not should have known. It was on composer install. What? End of central. Either it's not a zip file. Oh, it downloaded a corrupt zip file. And I don't think I can rerun a job because I'm not a maintainer. Man. Static code analysis. View. I can't rerun it, so let's do git amend. Git push F. And while we let that run, we can run against Drupal dry run. Run against. Oh, that's gonna load. Take forever to load, but check that it matched. There's no diff. So in this case, the updated matched what we expected. In this case. So in the test, it runs Rector against the examples and then does a diff against the updated to there to see if there's any difference. And that's how we do a functional test. Okay, PHP send pass. I'm going to copy this and first PR ready. Addresses. Drupal git path and addresses, not addressed. Which is the top. This fixes number 1. Woohoo. Do I use OBS? Yes, I do use OBS. I was using Streamlabs originally, and I did not like the experience around it or the fact that I stopped using Streamlabs before it was found out how bad, how unfair they were to OBS with how they wrapped it and hijacked things. So I am using OBS, and I had the chat embedded, and maybe it was my Streamlabs chat embed, and I lost access to that. Who knows? So I just need to redo it somehow. Like they have a like chat embed, but it shows like my version of it, and I don't know how to get the not me version to show up. I'm sure there's a way, but also like the whole streaming thing and like recording, I definitely am like a quarter of the foot in. Like I do it, I don't spend enough time reading and researching it because that's me. I add an idea and I only get about 35% of the way in, or maybe like 80%. I'm not a polisher by far. I definitely fail at polishing things. So hip hip hooray for that. Um, let's see. All right, so that takes care of that change record. Let's go to the others because I've got about 45 minutes left. And I want to get this next big one, file create URL. Oh, man. All right. I wonder if these are going to be shared. File create URL or render. Let's do get checkout main. Let's do file create URL. Let's see how complicated this is. File transform URL relative. Okay, that's again two of the same. I'm going to update that. Note. And change record. So that's in that change record. We've got render. Oh, that's going to come up with a lot, I bet. Oh, wait a second. Wait. Render replace with renderer service. And this change record, that one should be easier. All right, so we've got file create URL and transform are in the same. Let's save this. So maybe I can get two easy ones turned up. So file create URL and transform relative are on one change record, so they'll probably be very similar. We've got render, and then there's file save data, which is also in file URL generator, that's file repository interface. Bum, bum, bum. I know the asterisk won't turn into bullets, but it's good enough. Oh, file save data, file copy are replaced. And friends in that issue. I wonder if I should. I don't care about the issue credits, so I was like, oh, maybe I should make a child issue for this, but I don't care. On the issue credits, so let's see. Let's do render because that is only one item. So let's do get new branch, render. This should be easy at least, because we will do a source utility. It's the base of service. Yeah, function to service base. Drupal real path. Let's do a render rector. Copy paste goodness. Render rector. Add. We don't need comments. Where's the link to it? So let's see. So the function is render. The service name is renderer. And the function name is render. Ta-da! Before and after. We don't need these. Why is this getting angry? Oh yeah, fix that. Multi-line function, not indent. Sure, there we go. PHP CS it up. Config. Oh, now it's going to kind of conflict with this one because it's copying some, it's updating the same configuration. But we'll go Drupal 9, 9.3, correct? Yep. This is one reason I was going to deliver them as one big pull request, but we'll do them separate. And then they can be decided what they want to import first or merge first. So services set Drupal or render Rector class. And see, like some things like this is where I'm like, I don't even want to write the unit test because I'm spending so much extra work writing the unit test, but it's worth it to do. So let's go to fixtures 9. Again, I'm going to use the .module example. File. Base of a copy. We'll do function. Rector. Rector examples with render. Copy this and update it. Add it. That should equal this. I don't want to make the test. See, I added these with all the assert, fixture.php. Sure, I'm going to just copy this. So what is it? It's just render rector. Its name, render rector, config, configured rule is render rector. Don't import with an alias, just import it. Close. Let's rename this class. We don't need render. Oh. Shoot. Rename the file, render rector test. We'll rename the class. So in the fixture, we'll go here. And in this case, I'm just going to copy that over. And then I'll run it and we'll see what happens. It should just work. This should be a nice simple one. Rector test, run it. And it passes. Woo-hoo. All right, let's do git status, git commit AV. wait, get status, get add tests, add fixtures, get add source, add config. Now I'll do git commit, add rector or deprecated render. Addresses, change record, git push, u origin, 326, render, GitHub PR create. Let's add the body with this line 4. Part of blah takes care of this change record. Submit. Let's see, can I request reviewers? No, I can't. I hate GitHub so much. I hate the fact that I can't request reviewers from anybody, that you can't self-manage labels. Just the collaboration effort on GitHub feels so bad. All right, so we'll see if this passes. Like, it's silly because you can tag the maintainer in a comment telling them that it exists, but you can't request them to review it. I don't get it. All right, so let's copy this pull request link. Second, PR ready, addresses, render function. Let's look at changes real quick. Yep, render rector. This is going to conflict with the other pull request, I'm sure. But that's nice and simple of a fix. So if that's that simple, let's look at file create URL and file URL transform relative. That oh no. Oh wait. Hold on. So file create URL, generate absolute. This is bonkers. What? So file create URL, generate absolute string. Or URI, transform relative, file URL, transform relative, transform URL from file create URL of the URI is generate string. Why is this not? Oh, because it does both. And then from URI. Oh, I'm not doing that this stream. That's a whole. Yeah, if you're not maintainer, it's just fire and pray. Yeah, for GitHub. New service, generate string, root relative, absolute, generate root relative accessible URL object. I see. Transform relative from a local file to a relative URL. In addition, CSS optimizer. This is providing the service. Yep. Are now taking. Oh, so these are taking it as part of its constructor. That seems like a big one. And I'm sure file save data won't be any easier. Actually, it is. So let's do that. Let's sneak this one in. Because those are pretty easy to do. So let's get checkout main, get new branch, file, functions, and Rector. Let's do what's the Drupal render Rector? That's funny that we had Drupal render and render. What? So we had a render function and Drupal render. Why? Oh, because I think the core render function actually invoked this. I don't know. But we're going to copy this to, that's not the one we want. File, save data. So file, save data, Rector. To file, save data, Rector. File, save data. File repository. Write data. File, save data. Example. Result. I guess we'll try to get a little realistic here. File save data, file move, file copy, file save data. Let's do file move, file move. I don't even know what was in file move, so I'm not gonna copy it, and that just goes to move. All right, let's take this extra space. Then file move is less is file copy. Copy, file copy, file copy. Just copy. That one's nice and easy. So let's see. The service also adds the method load by URI, which we don't need to worry about here. What we do need to do is, once again, we're going to, this is why I was going to do it as one big pull request. But I wasn't sure, and now I wish I did, but oh well. Drupal 9, 9.3. Just change record. This one. We have file save data Rector. File move Rector and file copy Rector. Let's do, what is it? Clean up code. Perfect. Again, let's create the sample module that has all these things in it. Fixtures, D9. I know, and here there's like a whole bunch of stuff. Like, oh, I guess individual files make sense. Huh. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. So let's do that. File functions.php. How did they do it here? Okay, literally just like simple example. Okay. function, the code, file functions. The functions don't exist, so we can just go through like this here. File save data. I feel like we should use real examples here, but I will work on that afterwards. So file function example, updated, add, so file save, looks like this. With no value, move, and copy. I don't want. Okay, test. Stop complaining. It's a deprecation. Let's do. Let's just copy this. We're going to call it the file function rector. File function rector. Copy it. So where did it go? File function. So config. In the configured rule, what we'll do here is we'll do we're going to copy these three. We're going to have this test cover all of them. So fixture. Now, normally we could do a different file per each. Let's go with file function rector test. So when we do that, we'll do that's not the one I want. Wait, examples. I've done that a bunch of times too, where I've put the files in the examples in the wrong area. There we go. So let's do. So for the fixture, we'll do a new file called file copy.php.inc. I believe we need to close the. No, we don't have to close the file. Okay. What? Why is it being so? Why is it being so finicky here? Did I name it wrong? No, yeah, .php.inc. That's why. Oh boy. All right. So copy we know is copy becomes this. So we need file move. So you can do file move. We'll copy file move, which then is just move. So one thing that stinks is it's like it's important work, and I don't know if it's junior work necessarily, but it's so tedious. Like it's junior work because it is so tedious, but it's not junior work because it's so abstract. Like I would I would not go find a junior developer and be like, just go do this. Now it's a good paired programming session, is what this is. This would be like a good paired programming session where like a senior or lead would work with the junior to go through this process. Like, the senior could be working on something else but watching along and guiding. That's what kind of that would be the best part about this. And that's one reason I do it live, because I would lose my mind if I sat here doing this just for fun. Let's clean up this class file. PHP stands source. It should really run on the test too, I think. Oh, womp, womp, womp. Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. Is it because I forgot to close? Yeah, it's because I forgot to close the file. So let's rerun it. Come on. No. Expected. What did I do wrong? PHP. I'm gonna. I don't know what I did. But let's see if that. No, that's basically the same thing. Why is it broken? Configure rule. All right. Expected. Oh, wait. Dang it. That's why, because in the secondary, it's got the indent or the brace on a new line. That's why. Now it should pass. Cool. Right. Get status, get add config, get add source, get add fixtures, get add tests, get commit vectors for file move, copy file save data, addresses, change record, get push u origin 3264. Oh boy, 32616. File functions, GitHub PR creates, edit the body, move to line 4. Drupal.org issue is here, and change record submit. And third PR. To be honest, the file URL ones look extremely complicated and probably deserve their own issue. Extremely complicated. I'll just leave that. It looks complicated. It looks hard. And let's see. All right, green, green. We'll see if this turns out green. And if not, let's see. This is the job was running against 9.2.x. It got updated 9.4. The above 5 would cover 4,000 deprecated API uses. On 9.4, it would cover this much. What we can do is PHP stand passed, PHP unit passed is C. Help triage some of these. So this is a wonderful little task. Where now I'm actually really upset about this. I think this is a poor decision. When making an entity query with content entities, you must explicitly opt in or opt out of access check-in. By default, it was always on. And I feel like it should always be an opt out. And if you don't specify, an exception will be thrown. I don't like it one bit. I actually really hate this a lot. I'll be working on a rule in PHP stand to cover it because, yeah. But working on it with a rector, I don't know what this will look like. So I'll skip that. Exec of rector uses system PHP rather than web server PHP. 9. Admin reports upgrade rector. So this needs to move to, what was the CR/issue for that? Here, I'll put it into chat real quick. Here's the change record. Wait, why can't I comment? I'll add a new comment. Let's do a I don't need to comment on there. So this is a whole, what is this? This is the wrong issue. I don't know what, because there's, what is it called? It's called like upgrade rector. Yep, let's move this. Moving to upgrade rector. Same problem existed for upgrade status before. So save. Yeah, I don't know. I just dislike it because it should be accessed. Like, we've had it happen in commerce all the time where people have written like order queries on the command line for the background. I've done it hundreds of times where I'm running like a query against for orders or something else, and entity access kicks in and a background job is broken. I'd rather have that happen than it fail on me, because more often than not, you need the access check in place. I mean, I guess it's not the end of the world, but it's just like more verbosity when it's not necessarily needed. Like, it feels like something that you should always have to explicitly opt out of instead of explicitly declaring. Um, yeah. 1 second. Gotta answer this. Uh, all right, so let's go add PHP 8 rector rules for Drupal 8 prep or Drupal 10 prep. I believe we. Oh, I opened this. We don't want to add all the PHP 8.8 rules. This will break PHP 7.4. For example, it'll construct. So one idea is we need to sit and figure out what's being provided by the PHP 8 rules, and maybe this just waits till Drupal 10. Let's do postponed. Not postponed. Active. So what we would need to do is thoughts, create a Drupal 10 directory with Drupal 10.0 config that adds PHP 8 rules, but emphasis, do not add it to the main rector.php, keeping it an opt-in experience. Then in a how is this versioned? Then in a minor or patch release, add PHP 8 support. All right, so let's save. That one is going to be cool, but the problem is that I'm afraid it might be it might cause too many changes that will freak people out. So I don't know. That might be a bad idea. So let's see. All right, a few more, then I'm going to wrap up, and let's see. Convert Drupal set message. So let's see. Make future proof. That would be a good idea. Let's tackle that one. Using 8.9 call generates to a non-existent method add info. Oh, interesting. It's info is an invalid status, isn't it? So Drupal provided an appropriate fallback, but this does not. So it should be add message, text. Okay. Let's see if I can just fix this real quick. And then I'll run. Git checkout main. Let's do git new branch, that issue ID. I'll go figure, I did actually make an example. So let's do this. Fixture, do info type basic. Let's copy basic. Let's do info type PHP. Drupal set message. So it should be add message. To be fair, I actually have no idea what this should look like. So let's look at the rule. Add status, add message. Oh, wait. There's a change record. So add message. All right. So yeah, that's a thing that needs to happen. So it should be add message custom. Let's run the test. And this is why it's great to have the unit test, even though they take a lot to write. So let's see here. So yes, we got the error, did add info, which is wrong. Oh, if method exists, to string method name. Oh no. Method name should be add message. Message. Oh. I don't want to find parent type, messenger service, or messenger service method name. Message is, let's do args equal node get args. And this is args 0. So that's the message. Method arguments is the message. If array key exists 1, so if, okay, this needs to be if count, wait. Third argument is present. What's the third argument? False. Okay. So 1. So if this is if there's a type being passed. Okay, let's go back. Add message. So yeah, it should be add message by default. If there's one here, goodness gracious, that method name. Let's do message type equals this node type resolver get type node args 1 value if message type instance of constant string type message type equals message type get value. So let's do this. If message type if in array message type with error status warning true method the method name equals what was it UC first. Okay, so it was just that little bit there, which is really just the message type else method arguments equals node args 1. Let's run the test again and see if that passes. That broke a bunch of stuff. Add error because the type of message was not set with a variable. That's constant is constant string type. Is string type or message type instance of string type. All right, so we don't need it doesn't need to be a constant string type, constant scalar type. Get value. polymorphic call, constant scholar type. What is this implemented on? Accepts to number. Remove set state. Is little string? No. It has offset value. Describe is a string. That's not good. Oh, come on. Constant scholar type. There we go. That's where we get is smaller of. Get value. This value. Private value. That's set there. Shoot. I don't know the best way to handle this now. So we could do so we could do an if message. So if it's a constant string type, else if so else if message type instance of string type type get value gets. Let's do a debug statement. That's going to duplicate this in here. Let's debug. So if it's constant string type or it's string type, all right, so type, message type, type. Whoa, what? Hold on. Node, function call. Node args, well, this is weird. Node args 1, value is a string, value error. But why is it coming back as generic class string type? Or instance of generic class string type. Get value. Well, that's interesting. So let's cut that out. And do this. So message type. Get iterable. What does this do? So it says if we're going to do this, else if we're going to fall back to this statement. So let's delete that. So else if node args 1 value instance of string copy, message type equals here. So now I feel like though this needs to go up here. So if message type, else if. Else, let's debug it and copy paste as needed. I don't care. Message type is error. Let's do message type arg type so let's try to move this up a bit. So let's move this. So let's try and rearrange this. So if message type, so if message type is not equal to an empty string, else, where does these method arguments get used? All right, this is so bad. But before we go to the else if, we can do if, and then this else if can go here. And there we can get back to our else. All right, let's run the test. And then I have to run. Second, I gotta let somebody know that I am running late. All right, so that passed. Let's go run the entire test suite. Dang it. Why did this break? Oh, because it fixed code. How about that? Message types, type as variable. So look at that. Fixed it. Oh, what's this one? I guess, but so here it says add message. Defaults to status type. That should be configured rule. So let's go back here. So sure, we'll have it say add status as the default, but in here, add message. We'll change that. Let's run the entire test. I wish there would be a way to like disable the delete the type, but awesome. All right, let's go ahead and get status, get add source, get add test, get commit, handle, custom, message types. Also fix, yeah, we'll just add that in the pull request. Get push u origin 324 1156. Yeah, PR create. Edit explain. Falls back to add message when an unknown message type is specified. Also fixes resolving the type from a variable in normal use cases. And the issue is here. Submit. Let's open. Put up a PR. All right, cool. Thanks for hanging out. I've got to run and do a handful of things. I really want to take care of this one too, to future-proof our config. But there we go. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tuning in. And hopefully, this covered a lot of the basic rectors for Drupal 10 readiness. So woohoo. I'll probably be working on this again next week, Wednesday, instead of PHP Stand Drupal. So keep your eyes out and I'll be on. Thanks. Bye.